This is my entry into the SideFX Tech Art Challenge, which is a lot of fun. It's the lattice profile shape. Basically, this is the thing that I want to deform with a lattice, and I also did a help entry, which I'd never done before, which was quite fun. So you can look at that to see how it works. So you can choose the direction, and the lattice will deform the geometry. So it's quite fun to flip the lattice. You can have the guide geometry on, which can show you what it's doing, and you can set the divisions, which it goes along the profile in the direction. So generally you want this to be quite high, but Bezier only lets you go up to 30 divisions. You can also do linear, which lets you do a lot more. And then you can really map in a shape, which is quite fun. This is for sci-fi sort of panels. You want to change something, and you can change the mount with the ramp multiplier. And this I put in a blend out half deform, so you can say you only want half of it to be deformed, which is quite fun. I'll just turn this off, and then you can have another ramp profile, and you can make another shape, and you can change the direction anytime you want, which is quite fun, and you can rotate it. So you can create a lot of different shapes. If I just put in a normal box, and you can see that no matter what you put in, it'll create different shapes with a profile. And then we've got, if I just do a normal sort of setup there, then we've got enable threshold, and that creates a threshold you can sweep along, and you can flip that. And then I've got an offset, which is quite fun. So you can place things in a very specific place. So say you wanted the lattice to deform something just in the middle, you can do that, and then you can flip it around like so, and you just plug in something else, and it will look different probably, depending on what the, let's have a look. What's going on? There we go. So sometimes the threshold has to be changed. So you get quite fun forms with linear or the Bezier. And just remember that you don't want to go over 30 for the divisions for Bezier, or you won't see what's going on. And then you can also stack them, which I quite like to do. So you can do something from the other side. So you can make a shape and bend it, and so on. Let's go for another shape. This is quite funny, all the type of shapes you can do. So you can, let's go for something quite fun. So it's quite good to put on the guide geometry so you know what you're actually deforming and bending. And and especially with different shapes, you'll need to really dial in the ramp multiplier. And as you see with the blend out half deform, you can just pull up one part of it, or one side of the face, sorry. And then there's the symmetrize, and that'll just do a symmetrize sort of function. So that's pretty good for creating quite fun shapes. And you can sort of make gaps in the middle and do sort of ornamental shapes with it. And since I got the threshold on there, you can kind of see the what that's doing. Yeah, so when the symmetrize mesh is on, I have that disabled for the second ramp. Then you can put it back in. Then there's some other options here for enabling the voxel mesh. So quite often when you have something that's on linear, it doesn't look that great. If you're actually just modeling or creating a weird shape. So it's quite fun to have the enable voxel, and then you can dilate or erode, so you can make it chunkier. So it's all about playing with different shapes, and then I put in global transforms here, so you can that's just a post process, but it's quite fun. We can just dial it in, and then there's this disable flat edges, and that makes more sense when you don't have threshold enabled. Just show you the difference. So that's for creating shapes, really. You can clean up the geometry. Yeah, so it's quite fun for bending things with a lattice. Like so. Yeah, it does even with lots of objects. It can help clean that up. So I think that's about it covered. I think I've covered everything there.